So all of you are going to have your own ID and password, and you'll be able to log in to Listings to Leads. And we're going to log in now. Let's see. When you do log in, when you do get your ID and password, log in at the top right. Now, yeah, there's a button up here that says login. You click that. Don't go over here and create a free trial because you'll just be throwing a wrench in the system and you already have a free account. So when we get into the account, I want to take you to the home page and just to talk about the basics. There are 4 green buttons here on the left. When you click any of those buttons, there's another page of instructions. Getting started, automate, that's kind of like setting up your profile. We are going to look at the profile real quick in a second here. Facebook advertising is a very important page. If you're not aware of it, Facebook has pay-per-click advertising, and for just a few dollars, you can target the people who live in your areas like Lubbock, right? You can say, I want everybody in Lubbock to know I have an open house, or I want everybody in Lubbock to see that I have a home that's just listed or just sold. And you can also put in a page there on Facebook to say, everybody in Lubbock, I want them to see this page I have that talks about what your home is worth. And that concept there of putting out a property valuation page is probably one of the most exciting things happening in real estate today. It's where most or many people, many real estate agents are going to the market to get listing leads. Then down here we've got an open house lead generation platform, really powerful, looks great. Even if you're not the listing agent and you're holding that listing open for another agent, there are a lot of tools there to help you generate leads before, during, and after that call. And then there's a listing presentation here. I do think you should look at this page just to see how to present it. I'm going to be sending a listing presentation to Duran after this call. It'll have your logo. It's pretty simple. It's not very sexy, but it's really powerful because of all the tools that we have, right? So I'm going to get into the tools in a second, but before we go there, I want you to go have a look at your profile. And it's got, you know, your great pictures and all that. For right here, there's Jackie's email, and there's 2 boxes that send leads to and send tools to. Now you'll see inside of our system that we have a lot of lead capture tools. So when somebody fills out one of those tools, the lead gets sent to Jackie. In this case, it's also going to get sent to me, but that's just for the purposes of this call, right? And then there are tools, and we're gonna be focused on the tools this morning, and that's it. We're going to jump into that. But I have myself in there so I get copied. You might have an assistant that you want to get copied. Maybe you have somebody that you want to get the leads, but not necessarily the tools. You have that kind of flexibility. Way down at the bottom, I recommend that you put your social media stuff, because then we'll add these as buttons if you want people to join your social media networks. So before we get into the tools again, there's a really important piece of listings to leads. And I think before I show you how to manage it, I'm going to go over to the listings page and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And one of the most important parts of listings to leads is we create tools, and you're going to look at them here. These listings are automatically coming in your account, right? They just flow in all the time. We're turning on the automation so that a lot of tools will get auto-generated and sent to your mailbox. So the purpose of this call is to know how to maximize what's showing up in your mailbox, and we're going to hear about what's happening automatically. But how can you maximize it? Okay, so right here, the tools I want you to focus on. We're going to cover all these buttons, but all these tools, there are 2 red buttons and 2 blue buttons. These are the ones that I want to make sure that you know after this call how to get out on the market. So what we're going to talk about today is what those 4 buttons are, how to get them on the market, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook, okay? And I'm going to show you some cool stuff on Facebook and show you what's going on and how you can approach Facebook, okay? So to get an understanding of what we actually do, let's click the single property website. And What's important in our system is you actually click the icon, the button. So I'm going to click the single property website, and we'll give it a second for that to bake. And it'll come up, and it's going to have some of the basic components of real estate marketing, right? It's going to have your logo. It's going to have your contact information. If there's a status, it will be up on the top right of this, which is a single property website. And that status is going to be something like, it could be coming soon if you put it in manually. In this case, it's just listed. It could then be open house. That status can also change to under contract or active contingent, and of course, just sold. Okay. So this is the single property website. We have a virtual tour that looks very similar to this. And we also have e-flyers, Facebook ads, and blog posts that look just like this. And we also have everything is mobile responsive. So all these tools are optimized for mobile, right? Now, there is one thing that makes us different from every other company, and it is this section over here that says follow this home. Now, this is the basic stuff. Follow this home and schedule a showing. Plenty of real estate companies have this, right? And this says some, follow this home. We'll just click it. A little pop-up comes up and says, hey, it was just listed. If you want to schedule something, fill this out. Real simple lead capture, works pretty well. And when somebody fills that out, bang, you, the real estate agent, gets a lead. But we also have over here, and this is the most different part of it, is search all homes, okay? And search all homes is pretty good because that's for people who don't want to buy your house. And it'll drive them, that consumer, right to your page, right? And that's a great thing to have, because if somebody sees your home, the majority of people who see your home online anywhere will not want your home, right? That's just the nature of just real estate. I want something that's one story. I want something with a 4-car garage, or I want something with a different kitchen, or who knows, right? There are plenty of reasons why they don't want to buy this home. So in our world, they can click the link that says search all homes, but this home is also in Ransom Canyon, okay? And so an obvious thing to make this ad work for you, the real estate agent, is to say, hey, let's have a link that says Ransom Canyon homes for sale too. And since this home is under 400 grand, maybe we should have a link that says Ransom Canyon homes under 400K. Because we know that if they're looking at this, maybe those two factors are important to them, and maybe we can, if they don't want this house, they can click over here, right, and get into your system. Also, other good ideas for links are, is there an awesome neighborhood in Ransom Canyon, right? Is there just like this sweet area that people love to buy homes and you want to sell homes? So I'm going to have that as a link too. Or maybe there's an adjacent town, right, that's right next door or down the road a bit, that if I was looking in Ransom Canyon, I'd actually want to go, I'd be interested in that town as well. So that's an important part, and I'm going to show you that now, how you actually control these links, okay? So the easiest way is to go right here on the listings page. There's a green button that says select lead generation links. And when you click here, you get all these options. So let's click it and see what's going on. And what this shows you are the links that are inside your profile, okay? So I was creating, we created a lot of links inside your profile. You may want to use those, but you probably want to change some of them, right? And so here's what you want to do if you want to create a link right here. First of all, you want to drive people to your website. So I've got a website right here, and I'm just going to copy the URL. In this case, it's jhoward.cblubbock.com. And I'm going to go back here, and I have a page open. And this is when I click the green button there, and I'm going to paste that URL right there. And I'm going to click active, and I'm going to call this, what was it? Ransom Canyon. You don't hear that too often. Canyon homes for sale. And there's a button up here that says add more links. If I click that, I get another space below. I'm going to paste this same link here, make it active, and I'm going to call it Ransom Canyon Homes under 400K. Okay, I don't put 400,000 because we want those characters to be kind of tight because there's just not a lot of room. So I've got these two links, search all homes, which you always want, and I've also got what is your home worth. Okay, so, and that's good. You want a maximum of 5 links. 4 is even better. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. But when we click save, it takes us to a place that says reorder, right? Click to drag. And so I want to click on Ransom Canyon Homes and drag it to the top. Then I'm going to click on Ransom Canyon Homes under 400K. Then search all homes and what is your home worth, save and close. So I'm going to send you a cheat sheet. It's going to have a couple of recordings on it. And it's going to say this is what you do with your new listings. And the first thing it says is choose the right lead generation links. Okay. The second thing it says is share this single property website. The third thing is get this virtual tour on Crest, and I think Duran's going to have that be part of the office process. And then the third and fourth thing is to get these e-flyers and Facebook ads out and to follow up with a phone call. Okay? So remember, these are the most powerful parts of the platform to market your listings, but they're not as important until you set the right lead generation link. So what does that look like? If we go back here to the single property website, I'm going to refresh it. And when I refresh it, it's got the links. And we'll wait here for this to refresh. Yeah, they're right there. It's got links on the left-hand side that now speak to this area. And for the reason why we even go through this is that on average, our clients have a 30% click-through rate. So when a consumer looks at something like this, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's an email, it's on a blog, it's wherever, about 30% of the people who click it will click one of these links. And for clients that have put a few minutes by putting unique links for their particular listing, again, maybe it's that neighborhood, maybe it's the right price point, maybe it's a couple of price points. You know, homes between 200 and 300, homes under 400 or under 500, giving the consumer a few options that are meaningful to that area. We've got offices getting a 50% click-through rate. And that's kind of ridiculous when you think about online advertising or any advertising, to say that half the people that saw my ad actually got to my website. And we had an office here in California that had 10 offices in the kind of rural area, the central part of the state, which is not a super high-tech area or anything like that, having a 50% click-through rate, which is just fantastic. So that's an important part of the system. This is the single property website, right? This is the first red button. So the thing to do with this is after you get their lead generation links, share this. Share this to your own social networks. Underneath your picture is Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn. Now, you might want to share them to all of them, and you can share by clicking this button here, and it opens up the social network, right? I do recommend, by all means, that you share to Facebook. Secondly, I would recommend that you share to Pinterest, okay? Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, these are not great in terms of lead generation, but you might want to do it in terms of a listing presentation, right? Because people will, they'll be happy to know that you have a way of getting in front of these top social networks, right? So it's pretty simple. You just say, hey, you know, put a quick note, make it something social. Here's a beautiful new home. If I can spell, it is early here. New home. And put something nice and bang, share it, okay? And that's how you share to Facebook, and then you share slightly differently. Facebook is the #1 social network for diverting traffic to you. Pinterest is #2, okay? So you'll get to understand that we really pay a lot of attention to social networks. And there's a reason why we do it. When you look at what we've got, which is lead capture in these two areas here and ways to capture leads with all these links, well, really the strategy is, well, I want to be where the market is. I want to have tools where people already are, right? Clearly they're on websites like, I don't know, Zillow, TrulyARealtor.com, and we're taking care of that as well. But you want to be thinking about where are people when they're not there. And I'm going to click on this link here, and this is actually the top websites in the United States as of, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago. And you'll see that Google's #1. And you can certainly use our pages to get on Google. Some of them have their own SEO, so you will be on Google. But Facebook is #2. YouTube is #3. You're already on, or I'm sorry, #4. You're already on YouTube. And then Twitter, I've shown you the tools that can share to Twitter. We have a posting tool for Craigslist. And of course, I was saying, you know, we could get on LinkedIn. And I think somewhere down here is Pinterest. Yeah, #15. So it's good to know that, hey, we've got tools to get on all these sites. And then once people see the tools, they can click links and get off of those high traffic sites and get to my website. And that's really the name of the game, because we want to get leads for you, right? So that's the single property website. Once you've got the right links in it, share it. The share buttons are right underneath your picture. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to go over to the next button. The next button is the virtual tour, and I'm just going to show this to you because I spoke to Duran yesterday, and I think they're going to be picking that up. I can't remember what the process is, but the branded virtual tour is right here under the branded button. This needs to go to your MLS, because then it gets swept into Crest and it gets pushed out in all these places. We're going to be pushing this virtual tour to Realtor.com for you, okay, automatically. And there is a process where also the office, your office, is putting in the YouTube virtual tour that you're already investing in. I don't know if this is an example of that. I don't think this is yet. But it will be right here, and it'll be the YouTube video that you're already investing in embedded here, and then we're going to push this whole thing to Realtor.com. So it won't just be a video all by itself, it'll be a video surrounded by lead capture for you, just like this, okay? So I just want you to know it's there, and we're kind of managing that for you, but that it's got a lot of lead generation, some great branding, and it's really designed to get traffic to you and leads to you, okay? But you can always access it there if you want it. I'm going to go back to the listings page. And now we're going to get into those two blue buttons, right? We talked about the two red buttons, the single property website and the virtual tour. But the two blue buttons are really pretty unique as well, especially when it comes to listings, leads, and marketing in general. I'm clicking on the e-flyer button now. And normally, when I talk to realtors about e-flyers, their eyes just go right behind the back of their head, because who cares about e-flyers, right? And us, we care dearly about e-flyers because we can do a couple things with them. We can certainly brand, we can get your name in front of them, and that's what most e-flyers do, right? And of course, you're going to convey some information about the house. But we also know that this is a good way to talk to the market, talk to your clients, and also talk to your clients' friends and family, okay? So when you click the e-flyer button, there are a number of pages. And what we want to do is get a series of flyers to your client, and I'll show you why. This is the just listed flyer. We can click here on view, and this will show us what the flyer looks like. It's got this really big, bold thing on it first that says just listed, and then it shows the home. It's got links. It's got that link, Rustic Canyon Homes for sale. It's got you down here, and then it's got all these hyperlinks built right into the email, okay? So when you normally think of e-flyers, you might print some flyers and you might put them in a box in front of the home on the sign. Or somebody might call you and say, hey, I'm interested in this house on Foothill. And you're great, let me send you something. And boom, you send them a flyer, right? And that's awesome. But in our world, our flyers are pre-designed for you to send to your client, okay? And you can see here in green, this is a message just on this page. It says, this will be sent to Jackie and Vince. But here's not only does it have lead gen built in, there's a pre-written message that says, dear friends, we have hired Jackie Howard at Coldwell Banker Canup Realtors to sell our home. In order to help us get this sold faster, we'd love it if you would share this with as many people as possible. We'll do this if we're ever in a position to help you sell too. So this message is designed, it's pre-written to go from your clients, your listing clients, to their friends and family and colleagues. And you know what? Those are the people you want to get referrals from. So first of all, that tool, we're going to turn on the automation today. Those tools are going to go automatically to you, the just listed flyer and the seller engagement email. So let's look at the seller engagement email, because this is the first tool that they get. It's got your banner, it's got a few pictures of the home, it's got, and it's showing them a bunch of cool stuff where it's being marketed. And here are the ways it's being marketed: mobile, email, it's for the web, Facebook, and then WordPress, Google, Craigslist. And then there's your great picture and your logo. And and it's kind of wordy, right? I mean, I'm not going to read all this for you. There's actual hyperlinks where they can see some of the tools. And we want that to be wordy. We want your client to be like, wow, this is awesome. They're doing all this stuff, right? So this should come to you automatically. And if not, you can just click this button here, the blue button, to save the date. And then you can click this button here to send. And once you click send, it's going to give us a little message somewhere that says, yeah, this was sent to these two folks. Now, I know Jackie's already got this because there's a little date here that says this already went out, right? But here's the thing, when it went out, it didn't have the great links that we put in. So I'm going to click send again. And that should show up in my mailbox somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of tools. Now, there are more tools. There's a single property website flyer that's going to come out in 2 weeks. Again, it's got the message pre-written for your clients, friends, and family. Virtual tour flyer. If you have an open house, there will be an open house flyer that comes to you. If the home goes pending or sold under contract, you can change that as a status. I'll show you where to do that. And then you have a pending flyer, right? And then, of course, just sold is awesome, because just sold is going to say, hey, our home is sold, and Jackie was awesome, and here's his phone number and email if you ever need help, right? There's an e-flyer for that, and there is also a corresponding Facebook ad. So I should have those in my email in a second. We'll go look at those. And then there are print flyers too. The print flyers are going to be changing in the next few days. They're going to look really snazzy. Right now they look a little bit old school, but that's going to get a refresh in just a few days here. So that's the e-flyer button. And when I click send me an e-flyer, I get a Facebook ad. So let me go check my email and see if I actually got that. No. Oh, maybe it's in my support page. Give me a second, guys. Let's go here. Support. Sometimes it goes into support because I have all these fancy filters and stuff goes where I can't find it. But give me a second. Yeah, it's right here. So when I click on 36 Foothills being marketed, this is what I get in my email. Okay, Jackie, this is for you. Here's a couple links. Maybe you want the flyer, the single property website. Those are some links you might want to share. But then it says below, change Sally Seller to your client's name and forward this on. And this is it, right? So you click forward, you change Sally Seller to the client's name, and then you forward this on, you send them. So this is the first thing we want them to see, that you're just doing a ton of work to market their home. Then here is another email that's just listed, okay? So I'm going to forward this. And let's just imagine that I'm forwarding it to the client, right? In this case, I'm going to forward it to Duran, right? And I'm going to say, Duran, well, I'll show you what I'm doing. Let's see here, once I can get in there. So there's a message down here, and what I really want Duran to do starts right here. So I'm actually going to highlight this, and I'm going to say delete, and I'm going to say, Duran, please, and then my computer's running slow because I've got all this software running and recording stuff, please send this out to your friends and family, right? Send this to your friends and family, right? I got to know how to spell friends and family, and just send it out and follow up with a call, okay? Because that e-flyer has all kinds of stuff. It's saying just listed, it's the house, it's a pre-written message from their friends to you, and then there's you, and there's all these links to your site. So bang, I'm going to send that. And there's one more tool that comes with this platform, and it looks like, and this one I'm not going to forward, but I definitely want to show you what this is. So this one's a little more wordy. So again, you can forward it and clean some of this out, but here's really what you want the client to do. So you can leave all this if you want, just change Sally Seller. For me, I'd wipe out most of it, and I would say, hey, take this and put it on your Facebook wall. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I think Trulia wrote an article just this week that said the top things to do to put on Facebook for listings. And they said, you know, awesome houses are really great. But they said, if you want to put a listing, number 5 is to have somebody who is not the realtor put the listing on. So have the client put it on. And it's funny that they're saying that, because we've been doing this for at least 3 years, and I'm glad Trulia is finally, you know, picking up. But this is designed to get to your seller, and what you want the seller to do is copy what is between the red lines, okay? And I'm going to copy here. This is what we want your client to do. So you can change the message whatever you want, and you can send it, you can tell them to do exactly what I'm doing. So I'm clicking on Facebook now, and I'm going to open up Facebook, and I'm going to show you what this looks like so that you understand why you want your client to do it. And while my computer's taking forever to get there, I'm going to kind of remind you why you want them to do it. Facebook is the #2 website in the country. As of November of 2014, which is not more than 6 months ago, research from the Pew Center came out and said that 71% of adults, not teenagers, are on Facebook. And they're spending somewhere from 20 to 45 minutes a day, okay? So this is a place where your target market is. The people that you want to let them know that you're in real estate, they're on Facebook, 71%. So you want to get in front of those people, certainly as yourself. There are advanced ways, but what a great way to do it, by having your name out in front of the folks on Facebook from your clients, right? And when I clicked on the e-flyer button, if you can remember, we actually have a whole bunch of tools, like 5 or 6, that can be sent from your client into Facebook, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm in the status page. I'm on my listings to leads page, so it's not going to be exactly like this, but I'm going to hit Control V, and it's going to have this big message here, and I'm going to post, okay? So typically, if your clients are on Facebook, they've got somewhere from, I don't know, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 friends that have never heard of you and have no idea you're in real estate, right? But now you've got a handful of tools that you could send to them, and they can share via email and Facebook or anywhere else they want to share it. And you can see that the message is saying, hey, we're working with Jackie at Coldwell Banker, right? And when their friends see this, if they're remotely interested in property, they might click on it. And if they click on that picture or the link, what's going to happen? right? What's that consumer going to see? They're going to see a page like this, right? And obviously, this page is designed to capture leads for you. Either they can follow this home or schedule a showing, but what if they don't want it and they just want to see other homes that are under 400K? Well, they can click that, get off of the #2 website in the country, and get right to your website, okay? And that's really the power of this. It can help you get in front of the market. It can make you look really professional, and it can help you get buyer leads and referrals, okay? So at this point, these are the 4 core tools. And I'm going to kind of repeat myself, and then I'm going to take a breather here for a second and ask if you guys have questions. Now would be a good time. But I'm going to repeat myself. #1 thing is set the right lead generation links. #2 is get the single property website on your social networks. The sharing buttons are on that page, so click the page. I think we're taking care of the virtual tour stuff. We're not auto-uploading to YouTube because you've already got some really nice high-quality videos on YouTube. We don't want to confuse that. These tools, the e-flyer and Facebook tools, should be coming to your email automatically, and take advantage of them the way that I just showed you. So, Duran, do you have questions out there right now? Anybody there before we get into the fancy Facebook stuff?
The HTML on those e-flyers, is that used for like top producer to send through top producer? Okay, question is, the HTML on those e-flyers, is that used for like top producer to send through top producer?
Yeah, good question. The HTML. So I'm going to click the e-flyer button. There are a lot of software packages to do mass email, right? And if you are one of those agents that has a platform, maybe Top Producer does it. There are things like Constant Contact, MailChimp, many other platforms. If you want HTML and you want to send out this just listed flyer, click HTML and it brings you to this page that shows you all the HTML. And all you got to do is click here and it says copied, then you go over to your other platform, you paste it in, and you go from there. Yeah. So the purpose of the date is really just so that you know when this went out, when it got sent to you. When we got here to this page, the one on the 20, this just listed flyer had already gone out. I resent it. But let's say that next week I want to send this single property website flyer. If I click the blue floppy disk here, it's going to snap the date in right here, right? If I click this, it pushes the date right here as it is. And then I can send and boom, it comes out to me, right? A lot of this is going to go out to you automatically and the date is going to be here. So we haven't turned on the automation yet until we have this call, but the system is designed, as soon as that listing comes in, you're meant to get this automatically and you're meant to get this just flyer automatically, and the date should be saved for you so you know kind of when that happened, right? When that happens, notice that it's black underneath here. That means that these flyers have already gone out. If they haven't gone out, they're going to be green, just like they are right now. So the automation is about to get turned on, and these things are going to start getting sent out. So, any other questions? Yeah. So there's a couple things. When we put on the automation, all these tools are going to go out. But for you that have listings in there right now, when I turn on the automation after this call, it's not going to touch these ones in the past. So you want to kind of make sure that you go in here and kind of trigger them and start them. So let me get that going. First of all, I want to answer the question that Duran was talking about, and that's the status. So when we want you to market homes as many times as you can, primarily because our tools can capture leads, right? And I've shown you kind of the multiple ways they can. So there are multiple statuses that you can market, and to take advantage of that, you click the edit listing button here. And you actually click the blue button with the wrench and the screwdriver. And right now it says just listed. if you wanted, you could actually manually put something in there and mark it as coming soon. And if you got tight inventory, people love to run coming soon ads. And what they primarily do is they run those on Facebook. And you could totally do that. It's awesome. We are going to talk about Facebook in a minute. But you can also market it as under contract or active contingent or whatever the rules are for your MLS. And then of course, just sold, right? If you got something kind of an apartment that you're managing, you can also change that to for lease, right? And so that's where this is an important little piece to change that, to change the status, right? And to take advantage and market that home more and more times. I got to shut off. Of course, I got somebody bothering me on Facebook, but that's the first thing about that. So I want to go through the exercise real quick to show you, because we're going to turn on the automation. And remember, I said that some of these that are already here aren't going to go out. So what do you got to do? Okay. So we're going to kind of go through this again. First of all, we're going to click select lead generation links before we do any marketing. And this town is in Lubbock, so I want to make sure I choose the 2 Lubbock links. And I've got search all homes and what is your home worth down below. And let's see, save. Sorry guys, there's all kinds of nonsense going on here. And that's how I want my links to look. I'm going to click save and close. And then I want to share the single property website to my social networks. Duran in the office is going to take care of the virtual tour. So I'm going to go over here and click the e-flyer button. And now that it's got all those great links, once I put in the great links, it automatically sends me the tools. So you can see that he's already got this flyer, and then boom, this is here. So
and they want to do it coming soon. What would you recommend?
That's kind of happening. I'm going to click refresh here and see if that's showing up.
And then if you don't have a home that's come through the feed yet, what would you do?
Yeah, good question. So once I set the links there, it automatically sent me the flyers, and I had to refresh the page to show you, but the Facebook and email buttons are now black. That means that the tools have gone out to you, okay? And that's going to start happening automatically, but because we're going to turn on the automation, you got to go through and set the links, refresh, and you'll see that your tools are with you. And if they're not with you, just go here and click this button and then send the button to yourself, but it should sort of start happening. Like here, this one hasn't gone out, but I have set the links. Well, that's a bit confusing to me. I'm going to click that one more time.
Yeah, if we don't have it in the feed.
Maybe I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, if I hadn't clicked it, I could just save the date and send it. So, Duran, your question was, again, coming soon.
Yeah, if we don't have it in the feed.
Yeah. So, coming soon, you go right here to create new listing. And please tell Jackie that I am going to create something coming soon. And I'm going to just do it right here, guys, because I want to show you, one, we're going to jump into Facebook advertising, and 2, the coming soon is a smart way to start that Lord, sorry guys. This should go here. Let's just say new custom home.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Lubbock. And state is TX. And I'm just going to put in the basics. And really, when you're doing coming soon, you don't need to have, this is all you need to do except save and add photos. So I'm going to click here, and you could put in bedrooms or stuff like that. You upload a couple of photos. So I'm going to click here to upload a couple photos. And I want you to see this because it's, we want to kind of transition into Facebook. And when we do that, I definitely want to show you some cool tools, right? So I've got a few pictures here. I'm just going to grab these. You can hit control and then it'll upload them all at one time, right? And that's how you do it. It doesn't, I mean, this has taken me a little bit longer because I got a ton of software running and everything is slow, right? And if you feel like, oh, you know what, I want this picture to be over here, you just click it and you drag it and drop it, and there you go.
And what
Okay.
if it's not your listing?
You
It's
could
a way
also
to
copy the virtual
advertise
tour
property.
by clicking this, and this will push these photographs over to the virtual tour. It'll give you a message like this, and yeah, you can do that. So
And what if it's not your listing, but we advertise?
yeah, definitely. So what I would do, first of all, let's go to listings, and give me a second. Here it says CS. This is the status. If you want, you can click edit listing, and there's a property description down here, and you can say this listing, this box should open up here in a second, courtesy of whoever, right? That's how you would do that. But I'm going to do, I'm not going to get into that piece right now. I'm going to show you something really cool, because this is what people do. This is one of the top ways people market listings and on Facebook. Okay, I showed you how you can share tools to Facebook, and that's cool. But the real power of Facebook comes in Facebook pay-per-click advertising. And what a lot of people market on listings, they might put the single property website, but a lot of people like to put the listing landing page here. So I'm going to click on this icon. It's the Google Facebook icon, and this shows us kind of a fairly generic page. If we had a property description, it would be under here, right? And this is cool, but there's a way to make this page look really pretty amazing, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And this is a little bit convoluted, so we're going to change how we do it. But there's a button here that says virtual tour. If you click this virtual tour button and you upload a large photograph, you see I have 5 photographs, but we need something that is 2,000 pixels wide, right, or 1,900 pixels wide. And I think I have one on my desktop, so let me go look. Yeah, I do. It's not the same house, but you can see that the dimensions are 2,000 pixels wide by 1,500 high. And when I click open that, it downloads it. And then it'll refresh and it'll show that picture to me down here at the bottom, right? And then if it's large enough, it will give me a little option to say listing landing page. Notice that these here do not have that option because they're not that big. Those pictures are not big. This one is a large one. So I click that button and I click Save All Edits. And the reason I go through all that rigmarole is that when I go back here to this Coming Soon page, that listing landing page that I was excited about, if I refresh it, it's going to make this page look a lot cooler. It's going to look like this, okay? And what we really recommend, and this is advanced stuff at this point, guys, is that you have a Facebook pay-per-click campaign. You have a budget for Facebook. If you want leads, especially listing leads, or if you want the market to know you're in real estate, for a couple bucks, Facebook can do that incredibly well. So there are a lot of resources. I'm going to point them out to you. I'm actually going to send you a link at the end of the call that shows you how to run a Facebook ad. So when your head starts spinning, if it's not spinning already, just remember that you're going to have some tools in your email to show you how to do exactly what we're doing right now. So on this web page, there is a web address. It says searchallproperties.com/information/the address, right? You want to copy that, and because we want to get this page in front of your market on Facebook. And you go over here, Lord, you go here and you click create ads, okay? And literally this is how you do it. There are a couple ways to run ads. There are a couple ways to interact with Facebook. We want you to do it this way because it's the most powerful way of doing it, okay? And when I click create ads, it's going to take us to a page, and of course everything's running super slow for me, but we'll get there. And there we go. You'll see that there's some what's your objective, and sometimes it's worded differently depending on where you are. But we want to send people to, just to be clear, we are sending people to a website, not your website. I wouldn't recommend sending people to your website. You certainly could, but that's not really the way that this all works. So I'm going to paste in the URL to that website we were looking at, and I'm going to click the blue link here, and it kind of pops it in there. This is running a little bit slower because I got all the software running, and so my computer's starting to die here, but this is the process, right? So what we're doing right now is we're marketing that you've got a listing, right? In this case, you're coming soon. So you want to let the market know that I've got this thing here. So who do you want to know? The first thing that you can choose is, I can say Lubbock. So when you're thinking about Facebook, I know half of you are sitting there going, I hate Facebook, and I don't have any friends on Facebook, and all these other sad stories. But all you got to be thinking about is it doesn't matter, because with Facebook, I can say, hey, I want everybody within 10 miles, including Lubbock, to see that I've got a home coming soon. And I don't want the teenagers looking at it. I want people who are over 25 maybe, right? Or whatever your age bracket is. There are more fun things to do. Do not do them. I know realtors like to click on every little thing that's going on. Ignore all this. What you want to be thinking of is my daily budget. Okay, so to run an ad, and it's this ad. When you're running an ad to show a listing, right, and maybe you've got a handful of listings, maybe you have one listing, maybe you're borrowing one of your colleagues' ads, listings to market this. Maybe you're just going to run one. But when you run that ad on Facebook, when you're marketing a listing, just do it for $1 a day. $1 a day. And for $1 a day, a few thousand people are going to see that. Make sure and set your start and end date. Normally, and you'll see some tutorials. Normally, we like people to run an ad for 3 or 4 days, right? Because we want you to change it up. Today, for a couple days, or maybe for a week, you're going to run something that says coming soon. Maybe next week you're going to run an ad for a home that's open house. And maybe the following week, one of the homes sold in your office, it wasn't your home, but you're going to market as just sold. Why? Because thousands of people are going to see that, and they're going to see your name associated to real estate. Okay? So that's really the whole key here. It doesn't matter that you have 10 friends on Facebook and that nobody's really following your business page. What really matters is you can say to the market, I have a home coming soon, right? And here it is. And so you want to kind of control this. Okay, so this is what the ad's going to look like. Right here it says sponsored by Listings to Leads. It's going to be sponsored by your page, right? It's going to say that. It's not going to be talking about Listings to Leads. And it says coming soon, right, in Lubbock. And you could change this. So I'm going to change that dash and say in Lubbock. And when I do, it changes the word down here. It says coming soon in Lubbock. And here, it's got this pre-written stuff here, right? You can say, hey, click to see this home before it hits the MLS. And I don't know how it is there for you in Lubbock, but for pretty much across the country, inventory is tight. And for the person to find the right home that they want, it's a real pain. It's not easy. And so if you're letting them know that you can actually see this now before anybody even knows about it, great. You have limited characters here, 45, right? I've got 45 more, so I could actually make it longer. But you could also, there's a button down here, there's a couple of buttons. Choose button. Learn more is always a good one because it just gives them a little call to action down here. It says learn more. When they click that, it's going to open up the ad. The advanced options. This gives you 200 more characters, and those characters, you know, it just gives you more room to talk, right? And maybe this is a really awesome home in an awesome neighborhood, and it's had some new customizations, and it's got a built-in whatever. You could put that right here, and I don't know if you can see it because you know you're on a little bigger monitor. That language is showing up right underneath coming soon, and so you got 200 characters right there. And you click place the order, and bang, it goes out, right? It's out there. And since we're running it for 4 or 5 days, at the end of those 4 or 5 days, you're going to get a message from Facebook saying, okay, your ad's complete. And they're going to actually show you analytics. They're going to show you how many thousands of people saw this ad. They're going to tell you how many people clicked that ad. And then you're going to look at that and you're going to say, hey, that many people saw the ad. They got a number of clicks, and then I got a number of leads into my email. But thousands of people can see this for $1 a day, right? So when it comes to the Facebook strategy, some of you can ignore this, and others of you that really want to have your business start growing, we want to see every agent running an ad like this, changing it up every few days. Sometimes it's coming soon, sometimes it's open house, sometimes it's a just sold, things like that. At least one ad running for $1 a day throughout the month. That's $30 a month for thousands of people to see your name on Facebook. So that's definitely what we want to see happening there. Okay. I am going to click here, and we're going to end this. That's one thing that you do is you market listings, and you're going to see calls from other agents. We're going to invite you as they happen. We got clients generating hundreds of leads every month. I got a guy who's going to be on in the next 30 days that's generating around 1,000 leads a month. And I can tell you, he's doing it in 2 places, Craigslist and Facebook. And for the clients that are generating a few hundred a month and they're getting listing leads and buyer leads, it's pretty much just Facebook. So that's why we're diving into this. And I know we're running the end of the hour here, so I'm going to move a little bit quicker here. There is a section up here that says landing pages. And there are all kinds of landing pages for FSBOs, expireds, condos, HUDs. But Property Valuation Plus is pretty cool. So if you want the easy way to get a landing page for each of these is to go here and type in the word Lubbock. Okay? Spell it right and capitalize it right, because that's going to flow through all these tools. And I'm going to click Save. And this page is going to give me a little green message that says we have created a series of pages for you. So I'm going to point it out here, and after the call, when you go do this yourself, I want you to look at all these. What is your home worth is an old school property valuation page. Growing family is a page that's designed, it's got a little picture of a kid. Empty nester is for people who've got a house that the kids are gone, maybe they need to sell and downsize. Lots of property valuation, plus one, different versions, test them all out. But the one I'm going to focus on right now is the one that's very popular. It's called Property Valuation Plus. And since I typed in Lubbock and saved it, I can see that here's the Lubbock one. And you could create multiple ones, right? You might have a few different towns that you want to run this kind of ad. But right here it says See Landing Page. So let's click it and let's see the landing page. And the thing about this landing page is it actually has, it's basically got this process where you put in the address, and then the next page says, oh great, do you want to confirm how many bedrooms, and stuff like that, and then you say yes, great, here is your valuation, give us your contact information, and we'll give you the valuation, right? So this is a really good page to do, so you should test it out, you should fill out the form yourself, and you'll see your lead come to yourself. But I'm going to copy the link up here. Good Lord. Sorry, guys. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Give me a second. Yes. Demo. So let me there is a minor difference. And actually, it's not minor. So I just want to show it to you. there's two things that you got to do differently than what we just did. You're going to paste in the same link. You're going to change the language a little bit on the side, and I really want you to know this, because there's the easy part of clicking and pasting and doing this, but running an ad right means you're going to get a lot of leads. Running an ad wrong means you're going to be disappointed. Okay, and I'd just rather that you do this right, so that you spend a couple bucks and you're like, wow, I got more leads than I've ever had, and these are listing leads, and suddenly I'm like, super jazzed. So just bear with me one more minute. We're almost here. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to point it out. Remember how we typed in the area we want Lubbock? And when I typed it in, it said Lubbock plus 25. I want you to click that radius button and change it to just in Lubbock, no radius. If people under 25 years old can't buy a house, or under 30 years old don't own a house in Lubbock, use that age bracket. But the budget is very different, all right? The budget is like, usually you want to run this for 3 days, right? Maybe some people say, I like to do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some people like to run it in the middle of the week. You test it and see what works best for you. But the budget here is 10 bucks or 20 bucks a day, and you run it for 3 or 4 days. And the other important thing, and this is a little bit of the psychology of getting people to click, is change this language here to say, click here to get an automatic online valuation, okay? Take the fear away from that consumer that they don't need to talk to you, that they're gonna get their answer right here, right now. And some people will say, click here to get your home value in 15 seconds, and they get a lot of clicks.
Yes.
Right?
When
That's what
we,
you want to do. You
when
want
they
to
get a lead, do
you
they
want
get
to
it
change this
on,
language to get
via
people to
text?
click,
And then once they
and
get
then when
it,
they click, they're going to fill out
where
the
does the
form.
lead
And that's
live
it.
on the
That's really
page?
all I wanted to show you on this section. So, Duran, are there any questions? I know we're running out of the hour there.
When they get a lead, do they get it on via text? And then once they get it, where does the lead live?
Yeah. Okay. Good question. There is a system inside of this account called Text IVR. You don't have that turned on for your office, right? But if you did, some of those forms, those leads would come in the form of text. By default, they come to you in the form of an email. But there's also a leads tab, and your leads are saved right here. Okay? Since the account's brand new, we don't have them here, but you can click on them, you can see the detail, but they do get emailed automatically to you. For some of you that want Text IVR, you can actually click here and sign up for that individually, or Duran, you can say, hey Vince, can we add this for the whole office, and we can do that too. When you have IVR, it is integrated with some of the Property Valuation Plus landing pages, and it's also integrated for your listings, right? So, and when you have IVR, well, that's when we can start texting you leads, right? And those are great leads, because you got a phone number, right? And you then get like a short code and an 800 number that you could put on a sign writer and put in front of the house, and people will punch that in and they'll get some information. They get emailed information as well. You get a lead emailed to you and
A
text.
flyer
So that's
that tells
cool
the
stuff
seller
too.
where
Right.
all we're marketing. We didn't use the
Any other
WordPress,
questions,
we'll
Ron?
take that off. Okay.
The flyer that tells the seller where all the marketing, like if you didn't use the WordPress,
Yeah. I don't really think so. You can try it, because when you forward to your
I think we can use that
what do you
tool
call it?
somewhere.
When you forward it to your client, you can sort of edit there. We are setting up a blog for your
That's a whole
office.
nother-
We are auto posting every
The
one of
questions
your
on
listings to
Craigslist, and I know
WordPress.
that's going to take
But
a
you
long
might
time,
be able
so
to
we might
edit that
wait on that for another day.
seller engagement email.
Craigslist is not automatic. You have to go in there, and Craigslist is weird. So, what do you want to do about Craigslist?
that's a whole nother. The questions on Craigslist, and I know that's gonna take a long time, so we're not waiting on that for anything. Craigslist is not on, you have to go in there and Craigslist is weird, so.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
There is a Craigslist button, and basically the instructions is to click that button, and I'll click on it now and just show you. There's an actual tutorial. Click here to see how it works. And then there's this posting app, and what you're meant to do is drag that posting app and drop it in your bookmark bar. And that's it. I have it in my bookmark bar right here, and when I click on it, it opens up this little posting flyer, and all of my listings are here. So I can say, oh, I want to post this one on Tiger Street, and then I go open up Craigslist, and I copy and paste the information out of here.
Yes,
into there.
hold on.
I do recommend that you post to Craigslist. You have a lot of people getting leads from there, even today.
It's gonna tell this system that it went pending, but it's up to you to then tell this system.
Any other
Also,
questions, Ron?
what you want.
When we're off the call, I'll pull up our site and show you something real
Yes,
quick
hold
on something you need to know on changing the stats. Gary. Traffic reports. Okay.
When you're off the phone, please, I'll come to you real quick.
Do you manually send it to your seller, or can you set up an automatic send to your seller?
Traffic reports,
Traffic reports are underneath the e-flyer button.
do you manually send it to your seller, or can you set an automatic send to your seller?
You can send an automatic send to your seller. Usually, I like people to do it, to look at it a few times, right? And make sure it's okay. You don't want to, but on the e-flyer button, it says automatic e-flyer campaign.
Anything else?
And it will send all the flyers
We have no
and the
questions.
traffic report right here. And all you got to do is put in, Dear Fred, put in their email address, and save. And all the tools start going
Thank
out
you for getting
automatically.
up so early and helping us. You can go back to bed now. Thanks, Vince.
Any other questions?
All right, see you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
I'm going to put this recording up online, Duran, and I'm going to send it to you with listing presentation, a little cheat sheet